So let's talk prospecting. But really what I want to talk about is we're going to talk about two areas of real estate, of your real estate business. Now first, I want you to think about the things that attracted you to this business in the first place. And we're going to call this sexy real estate. Nice topic, right? So what's the sexy part of real estate? What interested you in the first place to this business? Let's rattle off a few. I'm my own boss, flexible schedule, no financial ceiling, sky's the limit. I like design and architecture. I like helping people. The thrill of the hunt. I'm a good negotiator. I like finding the cool properties. I'm driving around town looking at properties while all my friends are in a cubicle at an office downtown. This is a cool part of real estate, right? It's what attracted us to the business in the first place. So let's call that sexy real estate. Now the topic of this lesson is prospecting and lead generation. And here's why we're talking about sexy, because there's the sexy part of real estate and then there's the not so sexy part of real estate. And the not so sexy is really what we call your job, the J-O-B of real estate. And it has to do with finding and generating leads, building that pipeline, managing that database and communicating with it. This is the core of what you do in real estate, but it's just not the sexiest part. It's not the thing that necessarily jazzes you the most. We like working with people and being out and about and being our own boss most days. So sexy real estate and then the J-O-B of real estate. But here's the main point I want to make. I see way too many realtors leading with this box, leading with the sexy, and you've got to turn that around. You have to lead with the J-O-B, the job, the not so sexy. So think of this as two boxes in your real estate business. The sexy, which is really dealing with business and doing all the cool stuff, and the not so sexy, the J-O-B, which is prospecting, lead generation. Always lead from here. Leading with the non-sexy, leading with the J-O-B, that's what earns you as much of the sexy, as much of this as your heart desires, as you've always wanted. Box one, box two, you have to start here. So I want to cover just a few more things with prospecting and lead generation. Just a few points I want to make. One, look at your schedule. Your schedule needs to support this concept. So are you really truly leading with lead generation? When you look at your schedule, is there a minimum of 2 to 3 hours a day on there for just lead generation, lead follow-up? Prospecting, lead gen, lead follow-up. When you're a new agent, if you don't have enough business, you should probably be doing 5-6 hours a day of this. So until you have enough business, but overall, is that firmly in your schedule? I talked to a coach recently who has this great activity he does with some of his agents. If the lead gen thing is not quite sticking like it should in their business, he has them do this exercise for 2 weeks where literally every 15 minutes they have to log what they're doing. And if they miss a day or a half a day, they have to start over. So you have to do a full 2 weeks of knowing exactly what you've done every 15 minutes of the day. What happens tends to be startling because you realize that your priorities are out of line and you're not doing nearly what you thought you would. So your schedule must reflect the most important thing in your business. That was a point. Another point is tracking your conversations. How many real estate conversations did you have yesterday? How many real estate conversations have you had today? How many real estate conversations have you had this week? If you don't know the answer to that question, I want you to start knowing the answer to that question. And don't overcomplicate it. You could have a little post-it note on your desk where you're doing little hash marks, it's fine. An awareness of, am I having enough real estate conversations consistently to meet my goals? How many real estate conversations? Tracking it and having that awareness. And the last point I want to make is the concept, when it comes to prospecting and lead generation, of going small. Having a narrow focus versus, I'm going to try everything possible out there in the universe. I have seen agents have experienced tremendous success by going small. There's an agent I met last summer who, when she started in real estate, they only had one car in the family and her husband needed it, and he had recently been laid off as well. So out of necessity, she started her real estate career by only doing real estate in her immediate neighborhood that she could walk to. And you know what happened? Within about a year and a half, she was dominating that neighborhood. Now, I'm sure there was a car purchase in there somewhere, but as she expanded, she did so in a small manner geographically. So when it was time to expand, it was really just like the next couple neighborhoods. She's now one of the top realtors in that town, and she started super small. So instead of being all over the place, think about that concept of going small and the results that you can get with that focus. So what to say with buyers, or what to say to build your business fast? Let's just hit a few scripts. These are some of my favorites. Please make your own version of these. You always want to tweak any script you come across because it needs to be as authentic as possible. So please edit. And if you hear a script and it just does not resonate with you at all, then reject it. That's not your script. It's not for you. Go find another one that actually feels good. And that's why I like to go to YouTube and start searching for buyer scripts or seller scripts or listing scripts, and finding a few people online that I really like their style. You'll find some folks that you don't like their style, move on until you find somebody that you do really like. But here's just a few scripts that I really like. One is the Julie version of the basic script. So this would be, I may be talking to a friend, okay? Or somebody at an open house. Let me ask you a business question real quick. Are you guys anticipating any real estate needs this year? We are already setting appointments for first quarter, and we want to make sure we have you on our radar. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question every now and then. So are you anticipating any real estate needs this year? We're already setting up appointments for next quarter. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question every once in a while. It's my job to stay on top of the real estate needs of my friends and their friends. All right, so there's one script. Now here's another version of that basic script. I know you know a lot of realtors. I just want you to know that it's my goal to earn your referrals. Just planting the seed. So what's the most important thing that you value in a realtor? While we're on the topic, are you guys anticipating any real estate needs this year? Awesome. Keep me in mind. I'm going to earn your referrals. Natural, right? I'm asking for the referrals, even though they know another realtor. Here's another version of that. When they know another realtor, I'll ask them, you might ask them, are you still in relationship with the realtor who helped you purchase your home? If they are, the answer is, awesome. I'd love to be the second person you call anytime you need a question or have a question. Or if they kind of say no, or they're hesitant, then you can tell that they're not really connected with that agent anymore. They're not communicating, and you just raise your hand and you say, I will be your go-to resource. You call me with any question that you have. Now here's one. I call this the money script. Oh, I said this before in the listing chapter, but remember this. Remember this with anyone you're talking about who's talking about any listing lead. But you always want to say, is this the only property you have to sell, or are there others? Is this the only property you have to sell, or are there others? And one more, a powerful listing close. What's important in this message is the confidence with which you present the message. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you were to sign with me right now, here's what would happen today. Today we would have a coming soon sign in the yard. Today we would build out your online marketing campaign and launch it on social media. And today we would contact other agents in the area to alert them to your listing. Let's get started. So let's wrap this up. You've now just finished the 5th webinar in this series of 5, and I just want to package it up for you a little bit. Remember, in the very first webinar, we talked about your ahas, 2 ahas, a 24-hour action item, and time blocking so that you have some action this week and some action next week. So what are your 2 main ahas for going through this course? Assign a 24-hour action item to it and get something in your calendar this week and something in your calendar next week to make some progress on those items. Remember, you need to activate that RAS, that reticular activating system. So taking action quickly is a very, very important step for you moving forward with those ahas and getting some stuff done. A couple other things I wanted to mention. You can find me at thenelsonproject.org. You can find my book at successfasterbook.com. Tap into all these awesome Inman resources. Hope you got a lot out of this. Let us know of any courses that you want to see. We can bring more to the table for you. Good luck and go get them.